Guys, okay, so I got my box this week, and the reason I'm making this video is because of the fact that um I've been asked so many times about exactly what it is that I get from BioScript Infusion Services. So it gets FedExed overnight to me, and then they have on here that it's perishable type of stuff is the thing that they put on there. Um, just to keep everything, together. So this was the same company that I had gotten my TPN through before, so I'll be able to show you some bandages as well. Alright, so because I am now on Zofran for my nausea, I get a wonderful package like this. Each of my bottles is Zofran, my sharps that I have, and I do have a proper sharps disposal container that I keep at home and stuff. So what I'm going to be doing is, these do not have to be refrigerated, but with my storage setup, as you can see, I really don't have room to put the vials there on the shelf. So I will be putting vials in the refrigerator on the door. In my kit also comes these wonderful supplies that I have basically had for a while. Sorry, had to use my mouth to open this up. Okay, so one of the main things I get asked about is this package right here. These are my IV 3000s. They are what go over my port site, and when I had a PICC line, I had these over the PICC line. They're very easy to put on. It's kind of like Tegaderm, except a different type of glue. They're literally just as thin and as lightweight as Tegaderm, so because of the allergies I have, this goes on first, and then I use my roll of Tegaderm there to put over the top of it when I coil my wire. What I mean by coil my wire is I do this with my wire, so it has the IV 3000, then my wire comes out from underneath of it here, and then I wrap it in a loop above the IV 3000 and over, and then I'll put Tegaderm here just to hold it in place so that if it gets pulled for any reason, my service dog cuts through, or my aide's daughter, who I call my grandbaby, she's playing with my IV cord, and she likes to chew on it because it's cold, she can't pull it out of my chest. So it's a safety thing. Now, these are the needles I use. I do like these, although I don't like the fact that it's a soft package. I do like this type of needle. One, it has this nice white bumper to keep it from pressing on my skin and causing irritation. Two, it does not have that extra piece of plastic as a needle cap. I discovered that the needle cap, one, it actually started pulling my port as it was healing in place, which was not fun. And two, when it rested down here, the plastic actually pushed around this piece right there, and then it would touch my skin, and it didn't have a bumper like this. So at that point in time, I was thinking about using this other piece of equipment I have, which are these right here, to go underneath my needle. Now, when I had my PICC line, oh, sorry, I had it upside down. When I had my PICC line, this is what I had over top of where the line came out of my arm. And then I had the IV 3000 over top of it. This is one of my favorites. We tried, when I had my PICC line, placed in April, and I got my port September 5th. So I had, everything for a while during the summertime this year. This actually kept down the strange discharge that would come out of the PICC line, like around it. It also made it that it stayed soft, so I didn't have a lot of the crusty discharge that a lot of us who have PICC lines deal with. But since I found a different needle that has a bumper, I no longer need to use these. Like, you can kind of see how tiny it is. It's literally the same size as what's on the package right here. So they are rather tiny. It is soft and gummy, and there is no stickiness to it. And that was one of my favorite things about this. So, alright, so back to the rest of the box. Okay, so these are my heparin syringes. Of course, this box doesn't like to stay closed. I was actually instructed to get this kind rather than the blue kind. And I also found out another reason why it's good to have these kind. The local hospital does not carry the yellow. They only carry the blue, which is a different amount of heparin, I guess you would say. So these I generally just keep on the shelf. And then I will put them right there next to my saline syringes on that second shelf right there. So that's, generally what I do with those. My lab in the boxes. These things have been a true and utter lifesaver. Okay. Not only do they come in their own nice little shipping box, but they have complete directions on how to drop it off. They come with the ice packs, the little cooler, all of that stuff for summer. And then they have, all the different things. They have a label bag that comes in there and labeled, so if it needed to get FedExed over, it could. Most of the time, though, they are just taken over to the lab by my nurse. Alright, so these are my massive amounts of saline with lactate ringers. I'm gonna pause you for a second so I can open this bag. Alright, sorry about that. Had to open the bag. Okay, these are one of my absolute favorites. Like, I've had several staff members at hospital ask questions about these. So, sorry, place it this way. So, this is my, line, basically, that attaches to my port, to be able to give me my fluids. So, obviously, this is where we spike the bag. It's got the paper backing, so obviously it is sterile. And then this is my dial. On my saline bags, whoops, I can't get one of them out. It does say 250 to 500 mLs. So this goes up to 250. And you see that little, let's refocus, camera. Come on. It's apparently taking too much time to focus. There's a little blue triangle here, and it's led to the open sign. I actually just dial that back to the 250, or I leave it open if I'm running late and just need to get stuff done. And that's how I get my fluids. And then, of course, we have the ever-present saline flushes. I gotta love these things because they are so easy to use, easy to carry. I mean, I obviously have, a ton of them. And then here we are with the sterile ones that are used for when my line is being changed. Having the sterile saline, it has been one of the biggest lifesavers for me, because, here, let me just take out a regular saline to show you. Alright, so the regular saline's in a bag, okay? Obviously, not sterile, which means that it's going to take my hands being involved in my port placement. Well, not port placement, but needle placement. When they put the needle in my chest, that means I have to touch this while they're handling everything else. And the risk of contaminating the sterile field is then increased. With having... where'd they go? Okay, here we are. With having this type, with the paper backing, they're sterile. And that means that they just get dumped on the sterile field, and I don't have to have my hands involved in anything with my needle placement. So, I'm extremely happy about that. But yeah, my bags here, I get 14 of them a week. I'm actually quite amazed because, the lactic ringers were suggested by my pharmacist, and I didn't know exactly why, because my blood's taken every week, you know, everything's monitored, kept in check, and all of that. But the ones with the lactic ringers have a little bit of potassium in them, some other micronutrients and things like that, just to kind of keep me as healthy as possible. So, because of that, it just makes my life a little bit easier. So, alright, well, I am going to proceed to put this away, and I will hopefully come out with another video whenever something changes with my treatment plan or a new large-scale event happens. You know, my life is never boring, never one just continuous routine. Life has decided to throw at me so much stuff at different times, so. But yeah, I have my massive amount of pile to put away. So thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys all have a pleasant day, and for those of you who happen to be medical secretaries, I hope that no one yells at you guys today. Bye.